Okay, record. The 6th of September, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos, Rosh Hashana.
Very good. Good morning. Thank you, Lou. Again, as Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst, Yeshiva Tzemach here in Yerushalayim. Care of Zoom. This is our preparation for Rosh Hashanah this year, first year in the morning. And we're learning now in our document. We'll start again with paragraph 20, if I'm not mistaken. We'll do a little review. We're in the middle of that. Start with paragraph number 20 from the beginning there. Let's continue on.
Okay.
Any volunteers, Lou or Mayor, who would like to read? Anybody?
I volunteer.
Okay.
Let's see. We're on 21.
Yes. Actually, it's 20. Let's start with 20.
20. Okay. V'chein amru chachamim zal ha-ro'eh shofar b'chalom yitzpah l'geula kule. So our sages say or said, we see the shofar.
The person who sees the shofar in a dream.
The person who sees a shofar in a dream can hope for the Gelula.
That's right. The dream is interpreted as being a indication that he will have a geula. He'll have some type of salvation.
Right. The Perek Haroeh Brachos Hare Lecha Ki Hashofar Hu Ha-Geula V'zeh Ki Hashofar Hu Mashma Hakol Le'esor Le'esof Ha-Pezurim Kedei She'yishma'u Osam Ha-Pezurim V'yavo'u Le'makom Echad V'zehu Ha-Go'alo. Wow, long sentence. From the Perech Haroeh in Brachas, Hare Lecha, it is to you.
Right, like you see, this is like a proof for you. This is a proof that we're saying to you.
You see for yourself. Because the shofar brings redemption, and this is because the shofar from the shofar we hear the noise, the sound, and together are dispersed.
Right. That sound of the shofar is heard when there's an ingathering of the dispersed.
Um, um, because that they come out with
Well, like
permission of others.
well, Kadei Shishmo Osam Hamiforzing. In order that it should be heard, those who are dispersed, meaning the shofar is a nice loud sound. And we don't, I've mentioned this before, since we live in a modern technological situation, so we're used to hearing a lot of loud noises. But really, before the Industrial Revolution, a few hundred years ago, loud noises were very rare. Like you would hear thunder, that would be a loud noise. And as a matter of fact, that's why uh, the Gemara in Brachos also mentions about thunder. Thunder, Kadosh Baruch created that it's designed to straighten out, as Chazal say in the Gemara in Brachos, straighten out the creases in a person's heart. It's supposed to, person who hears thunder, he's shocked by such a loud noise. It should bring him to the realization of the short time he has in this world, and should realign his thoughts towards serving Kadosh Baruch Hu in better ways than previously. And that was designed through the loud noise of the thunder. But so when we hear thunder, even now, if a person's next to a real thunderclap, that's pretty loud. But we're used to a lot of loud noises, much more than people were in previous generations. So we don't realize it so much. But the shofar, likewise, it's a loud sound, and it's made to be loud in order that people who are dispersed can hear that sound and can be signaled to come and join and gather in one specific place.
Okay.
Yeah, again, about 5 words into the second line, Kadesh Yishmu Osam Hamiforzing. The shofar is sounded in order to gather those who are dispersed, that they'll hear the sound. Those people will disperse, they're far away.
And they'll come to one place.
Right. V'zeu Agula, and that's the redemption.
And that's the redemption. Ki ha she'avod.
Actually, that maybe we should stop and mention this point, reinforce this point. Meaning, those meaning is referring to the Jewish people. The fact that the Jewish people are dispersed, and that's a symptom of our exile, our gullus, and our redemption is when we will come and regather and be again together in one place. Meaning the functioning success of Klal Yisrael is when we're all together. That's a geula. And we rejoin each other together in one spot.
Rabbi?
Yes, Lou.
Sorry. Roy's on the phone. He says he's been trying to get in for quite a while.
I haven't gotten a signal. I don't. Interesting. I didn't get a signal that he's trying to get in. Let me see. I'll tell you 1 second, Lou. I'll tell you what. Let me make
Try again. Keep an eye out for him, please.
All right. Okay.
All right. Hatzlacha, Rabbi. Sorry for that.
No problem. I'll tell you, Lou, maybe I'll make you host and see if you get a signal from him.
Okay, that'd be fine.
Let's try that.
Okay, it
Oops.
says I'm host now.
Okay. And actually, I think you're gonna have to let me share the screen. That's number one.
Let's see, multiple participants. Okay, you should be able to share now.
Yeah, very good. You're getting any signal from Roy?
No,
Can can you invite him? Can you have a way to invite him specifically?
let's see. Can I invite, copy invite link, email, Gmail. To Roy TZ. Okay, I sent the invitation. Let me call him back and tell him to look at his email. Ah, here he is. All right, I sent you the invitation, but it looks like you got connected, so I just let you in.
There he is.
Yeah, all right, I see you. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob.
And
You're
good morning, Roy.
Good morning, Rabbi. Sorry it took so long, but I don't know. I was in here before you logged on. I was
Yeah, I
waiting
don't
for you.
know. I'm not sure why I didn't give you the signal. Anyway, we were learning about the ingathering of the exiles. So I guess you were there waiting for us to ingather.
Right. I've been exiled now. I've been ingathered.
Well, it says when you blow the shofar, they'll hear and they'll come. And you called and said, I'm trying to come.
All right. So where is it?
We're in paragraph number 20. The second line in paragraph 20.
Thank you.
Okay, so he avod
The shibud, the subjugation.
hashibud, the subjugation asher nishta avdu, that we submit tachas rosh, I'm sorry, rishus acherim. We submit under the permission of others. Via the
Well, here Rishus under the domination of others.
under the domination of others. Via vo yachad v'ha kibbutz yachad hu hageula lefi sheyotzim mireshus acherim, and come together. What is this hakibutz?
Kibbutz is the gathering. Is the gathering, right? By the gathering and together, that is the geula, right? That we're now being freed from the dominion and our servitude to others, and we're gathering together, right? And that gathering together is an indication of the geula.
And that brings us out of the domination. V'zeh
Yes,
shamar.
that's the freedom. That's the freedom we gain from being dominated by others.
V'zeh shamar.
Since we are coming out from the domination of others.
V'zeh shamar v'haya v'yom hahu yiska b'shofar gedol uha ovdim be'eretz ashur v'kule. And this is what is said, that on that day, the blowing of the shofar, they blow the great shofar, and the ones who are lost will come to the land of the ingathering. Hine ze hashofar hu mora al kibbutz hagalos asher haim bereshus achar v'hayatzu mireshus achar v'yichlalu ke'echad. And we see this shofar. It is what is morah?
That's an indication.
It is an indication of the kibbutz, is the ingathering.
Correct, right.
Of the redemption, that they have the permission of others, and they come out from the domination of others as one yiklalo. I don't know, yiklalo.
Like that's as one group, right? As one group.
V'chein ha'tam hu biyovel ha'tekiah b'shofar. And this is the reason for in the Yovel, for the blowing of the shofar. Lomar ki hakol yitzo me reshus asher haim vo v'yavo el makom echad v'hu makom haklal hakolel hakol asher hu chirus. That they come to the place, to one place, and this place is a situation for all that are free. What is this? Hakolel hakol asher hu chirus.
Right. V'yavo el makom echad. They will come to one place. Who makom hakoilel makom, and that is the place which includes everything. Asher hu chirus, which which is there is their freedom. Makam HaKoilel HaKol, the place which encompasses everything, includes everything.
Includes everything. Mizeh asher tiva Hashem ha tekiah shofar b'Rosh Hashana. And this is what is commanded by Hashem to blow the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. Ki b'yom hazeh hu yom hadin, because this day is the day of judgment. Uvadin hasatan mak
Mikatreg.
mikatreg v'hakadosh baruch hu mis Allah al kisei hadin, and in judgment the Satan accuses, and Hashem ascends to the throne of justice. Vikish anu tokin, excuse me, b'shofar az mis Allah berachamim, and we blow the shofar, and this transforms mercy in mercy.
Right, transforms to mercy.
Meaning we transform Hashem's mode from justice to mercy. Lefi ki hashofar hazeh asher amarnu shehu horei ha-geula v'hatov v'harachamim kamo she'amarnu. Because when this shofar that we're speaking about, it is, what is horat?
Right. This indicates.
It indicates the redemption and the good mercy that's like that which we say. V'ani yotzim b'zeh min midas hadin umin hamiktarag me reshuso gam kain asher ein lo yicholos b'nei hu me mis Allah berachamim, and we come out with this from the characteristic of din and from the accusation which is dominating us. Also, that we're not able to ascend in mercy. V'zeh adavuv hasatan. What is adavuv?
This is this is Arvuv. That's a race. Arvuv.
Oh,
That also
arvuv.
confounds. That confounds.
This confounds the Satan. Ki hasatan mis arvav kasher ein midas hadin misucha. Because the Satan is confounded when there is not din mitocha is amongst us.
Yeah.
Ki kasher midas hadin mitocha az hasatan mik tereg matrig, because when the characters of justice
You know what? Kasher midas metucha. When midas adin is prevalent as a satan mekatre, that's when the satan will make accusations.
aval kasher yisbarach yis Allah barachamim ze nikra ha te'alos. But when the Blessed One ascends in mercy, this is called ha-te'alos. I don't know that word.
Yeah. When, however, kasher yisbarach is al barachmim az nikra is alos. I mean, like his alos is like to be exalted or elevated. Yes, al barachmim, right?
Right.
This is when Hashem Yisbarach is exalted through mercy. This is called exaltation.
Exaltation.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Exaltation.
I see.
It's the exaltation of Hashem.
Right.
V'hasatan misarvev uveshofar who may hafech harachamim al yedei hashofar. And the Satan confounds and with the shofar he mehafech. I don't know.
Fake is to transform. The
He
shofar
transforms the mercy through the shofar.
Right. Uv'shofar hu mahafech l'rachamim ayidei hashofar. And with the shofar, the situation is transformed into mercy through the medium of the shofar.
Vishahu
V'shava Rosh Hashana liYovel. There's a parallelism between Rosh Hashana and Yovel.
There's a parallelism between Rosh Hashanah and Yovel because the judgment of Yovel and Rosh Hashanah is the law. Acher lahem is a different law for them.
The because why? Because b'mishpat hayovel Rosh Hashanah hu din achas lahem, meaning the judgment on Yovel and Rosh Hashanah is the same thing. Achas, it's all one. It's all the same thing. It's all one thing.
He kamo Rosh Hashanah shit Rosh Hashanah mis Allah HaKadosh Baruch Hu al ha'olam kain b'yovel, because it's like that Rosh Hashanah elevates Hashem upon the world.
That there's a parallelism between Rosh Hashanah and Yovel, since the mishpat, the judgment on Yovel and Rosh Hashanah is all one. It's all the same thing. Ki kamo Rosh Hashanah Al Shana, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is exalted, right? Ala olam, over the world. Kain b'Yovel, likewise in Yovel.
L'fi she'az yis Allah l'tzas l'cherus v'Hashem
Hashem is Baruch Malkam. Malkam is their ruler, meaning
is the ruler.
Just as on Rosh Hashanah, Kadosh Baruch is exalted over the whole world. Likewise, b'Yovel, the fee, because Sha'az is Allah, let's say Slecherus, because at the time of Yovel they are going out to freedom. Kadosh Baruch Hu is their Malk, and Hashem is their king, meaning they're coming out from the servitude and the slavery to others, and they're now fully under the dominion and domination of HaKadosh Baruch Hu as their king on Yovel. And likewise, it's parallel. The judgment which is taking place on Rosh Hashanah, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is now exalted as king over the whole world, right? And it's now the time when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is allowing that through the shofar, the freedom from the accusations of the Satan are ineffective, and that's a freedom, that's a chayrus which we experience on Rosh Hashanah through the exaltedness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, by his now dealing with us mercifully instead of with the strict judgment of mishpat, of din.
You know what's bothering me about all this?
Nope, you better tell me. I don't know what's bothering
Rosh Hashanah time comes and everybody's talking about Olam Haba and Olam Hazeh and reward and punishment, and the Satan as though he's a person who's accusing us, and we trick him and we confuse him and we confound him, and we move Hashem from justice to mercy, and so we're tricking Hashem into not judging us. We're pushing this away. All this discussion, it seems to me that we're missing the point here. What is all this pushing away and tricking and confusing? We're coming to the point where we need to do a cheshbon nefesh for the year to consolidate and to focus our attention on what am I doing? What's my purpose in life? Get back to reality. Get rid of the chaff. Focus. Do tshuva. Make resolutions. Improve ourselves. Why are we saying all of this subterfuge? Why don't we say that we blow the shofar and it reaches into our heart and it brings us to closer to Hashem, and we do tshuva and we change ourselves. Why don't we focus on that? That's what we should be focusing on, not all this trickery.
No, first of all, blowing the shofar, first of all, is when you understand the depth of the shofar, right? The depth of the shofar is exactly that. The blowing of the shofar is a very, very strong tshuva. In fact, it's probably the strongest tshuva that a person could probably do, right? That inherent in the shofar is exactly what you're saying. The shofar is an indication of our desire and willingness to make a change. The whole, as we mentioned, the whole methodology of the shofar is that it institutes and inaugurates change. The shofar is a medium by which change occurs, right? So again, what you're saying is true, and all those things are happening as well. I mean, there are a lot of different aspects of Rosh Hashanah. A lot of different things are occurring. So when you look at it through this aspect, you're emphasizing one particular point. This is the effect of the shofar in taking the midas hadin and changing that to midas harachamim. And because even in spite of whatever tshuva we would do, without rachamim, right? Without rachamim, we would still be in a sad situation. As much tshuva as we would want to do, and as much tshuva as we could possibly do, without rachamim, right? It would still be a very sad situation to be able to stand up completely and absolutely under the full examination and analysis of din, of mishpat. That would be very difficult, even if we would change completely, but to compensate for the past errors and mistakes and negligences, right? So midas adin, midas mishpat would not be satisfied, right? You would never be able to satisfy that without rachim. So we need the rachamim, right? So it's not that we're trying. There's no fooling that's being done over here. The fact that we're blowing the shofar, right? The shofar is designed again. This is a Kadosh Baruch Hu's command. This is the command of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. So we're looking into to some of the deeper aspects of what the shofar is designed to accomplish, right? So the effect of the shofar, because when we are blowing shofar, so that is first and foremost, without any doubt, according to the most simple way of understanding and explaining it, that is the fulfillment of a mitzvah of Kadosh Baruch Hu. We are simply and absolutely fulfilling the will of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. At that time, right? There's no subterfuge over here. There's no fooling. There's no trickery, right? There's no deceit taking place here. At the time when we are fulfilling the ratzon of a Kadosh Baruch Hu, we are listening to the shofar being blown as the Kadosh Baruch Hu has commanded us, and because we are doing that, so we are protected from any possible negativity, any possible accusations, any possibility of anything happening to us that could possibly be detrimental to us in any way, because that's the power of any particular mitzvah. Any particular mitzvah has that power. As a matter of fact, one of the um, pieces of advice that's given is that a person should try and make it very clear during the full 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, he or she should be completely absorbed in doing mitzvahs. There should be no time that's left when he's not or she's not doing a mitzvah. That's why some, we remember we saw in the Mishnah Berurah that some have a custom that during the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, they start and finish the whole Sefer Tehillim, meaning whatever moment that they might happen to have, they're always turning their attention to saying the Sefer of Tehillim, meaning they're always protected from any possible judgment that would occur to them if they were not Hashem doing something in the context of a mitzvah during Rosh Hashanah. So therefore, they make sure that they have a goal of finishing the whole Sefer of Tehillim during the 2 days, the 48 hours or so of Rosh Hashanah. And therefore, any extra time that they may have, they're involved with saying that Sefer Tehillim. And that's a protection against any possible din, any possible accusation against themselves. So that's the basic effect of the shofar is, since we're basically at that particular point doing the will of a Kadosh Baruch Hu, that's our absolute protection from anything that might possibly be happening to us in the light of din, of actual accusation against us or against Klal Yisrael.
So what's protecting us is the mitzvah of the shofar.
Yeah, basically that is basically the protection. Basically what's happening here is simply we are fulfilling the mitzvah of shofar, and just as any mitzvah has an ability to protect us, because at the time when we do a mitzvah, you are now the personification of the will of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Kadosh Baruch Hu is commanding that you listen to the shofar. So at that time, at that moment in time and space, when you and the rest of the Jews in the world are listening to the sound of the shofar, they are now being the personification of the manifestation of the will of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. And therefore, absolutely nothing can happen to them. Nothing can harm them. Nothing can possibly do anything to ruin or blemish their perfection. The only time that something can happen that could blemish our perfection and perhaps be harmful to us is if we're not doing the Ratzon Hashem. That's the only time. That's what we have to be fearful. We have to be fearful of not doing the will of Hakadosh Baruch Hu. But when we're doing the will of Hakadosh Baruch Hu, either as individuals, and certainly much more so if we're doing it as a collective group, Klal Yisrael, whether they're each in individual synagogues and shuls, Beit Knesset, or whatever, when we're all doing the Ratzon of Hakadosh Baruch Hu, there's absolutely nothing that can possibly harm us.
Okay, well that makes sense, but I still don't understand why are we talking about the Satan?
No, because that again the ability since we are subject to imperfections, right? We're subject to imperfections. So the time when the Kadosh Baruch Hu was judging us, meaning he's going through an analysis of what we've done, of what we potentially could have done, what we actually have done, and what we are now going to be allowed to fulfill and be prepared to allow us to do in the coming year. So at that particular point, there is a complaint. If there are any complaints to be made at that time, complaints are going to be raised. It's only fair. It's only fair. The Satan, the Midas Adin is actually that's what it means. Mishpat. Mishpat means it has to be fair. It has to be accurate, right? So it has to be accurate. So in order to be accurate, you have to hear the accusations. You have to hear hear the good points. You have to hear the bad points as well.
But we're not listening to the accusations. We're saying we want to stop the Satan from making accusations. We blow the shofar. The Satan can't make his accusations. What's going on with that?
No, so that's the point. The point is that at that point when the Kadosh Baruch Hu was going to judge us, right? So that's the point. That's the exact point when the accusations can have its worst effect, right? Its worst effect. The person's up for a raise, right? He's up for a raise. So they have a board meeting and they're evaluating this employee's performance, right? At that exact point is when, if any complaints are going to be made, that's when it could have their worst effects.
But the whole point of empowering the Satan is to help us,
right?
So when you say their worst effect, I would say their best effect. We're doing tshuva. We're concentrating on fixing our problems, and Hashem is judging us, and the Satan comes along and says, well, you did this. And I say, you're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I'm not going to do it again. And the Satan says, and you did this second thing. And I say, you're right. I'm sorry. And I take it to heart. That's a good process. That's the Satan doing what he's supposed to do, which is facilitating our doing tshuva. Why don't we say when we blow the shofar, it inspires us to hear the accusation more clearly, so we can take it to heart.
Yeah, but again, that's at the time of Rosh Hashana. See, at the time of Rosh Hashana, we don't want any mentioning of our shortcomings. It would only make the mishpat that much more difficult. In spite of whatever tshuva we could do, is only something which could help for the future. For the past, it's very difficult that tshuva can help for the past. Right? It's very difficult that tshuva can help for the past. So if the past is a shambles, so there's very little we can do to correct that through our tshuva. We need other things. We need kapara, right? We need kapara for that, right? So So that's a lot of the work that has to be done on Yom Kippur. But in terms of what we are now able to do in terms of Kaddish Baruch's judgment for us for the coming year, we want to be judged, right? We want to be judged for a new year, a positive, productive year. And what our failings of the previous year are going to be in the way of our being judged positively for the next year. So we want those accusations not to be brought up at the time when we be judged for the next year. For the next year, we have to look at it as we want a clean slate. And any accusations, it might be very helpful for tshuva, but it's going to only interfere for our opportunities for the success in the coming year. The Sutton's going to come and he's going to say, listen, on 365 days, you said Kriya Shema in the morning, you said Kriya Shema at night, and I'll tell you what, let's I'm going to give you your rating on each and every word that you said during all those 365 times you said twice, right? Kriya Shema, I'm going to give you a rating on how much kavanah you have in each one of those words, right? And you're going to tell me that you're going to change now?
Yeah. I mean, if what's going to motivate me to change more than the realization that I did the wrong thing?
Yeah, that's very good, but that's not going to satisfy the mishpat. The mishpat, the judgment, right, is not going to be satisfied with that. Let's take a look at let's finish the what do you call it, the next paragraph. We can maybe finish that up today.
Okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Okay.
Ulefichach yesh malkios zichronos shofros b'Rosh Hashana gam kain. Therefore, we have the kingship, the remembrance, and the shofar of Rosh Hashanah also. Ki hakol yis dabek al Hashem v'yotzei mirishus acher. Because all of this, what is this? Yis dabek.
Yeah, El Kaddish Baruch Hu, we are connecting with the Kaddish Baruch Hu.
This is connecting us to Hashem, and bringing out the other permission.
No, Rishus Achi. We are connecting with the Kaddish Baruch Hu, and we're going out from the dominion of others.
And we're going out of the dominion of others. Going out from the dominion of others. I think that's the key here. The ein chalok bein Rosh Hashanah the Yovel, and there is not
there's no difference. There's no difference between Rosh Hashanah and Yovel.
There's no difference between Rosh Hashanah and Yovel. Rak ki b'Rosh Hashanah ba hu yisparach l'din b'midas hadin al ha'olam, except because Rosh Hashanah brings blessing uh,
That's a Shemi's borough. Shem is blessed be he. Right.
it brings Hashem, may he be blessed, to judge with the characteristic of judgment upon the world. Aval b'yovel ein midas hadin lefi shehu elyon umis Allah al kol ve'ein sham midas hadin ulefichach kol hadivarim asher biyovel noheg b'Rosh Hashana v'hashofar bishnehem. But in Yovel, there is no judgment because that he is on high. And he ascends above all, and there isn't there a characteristic of judgment. Therefore, all of these things that are on the day, I'm sorry, that apply to Yovel, the customs of Rosh Hashana and the shofar are for both.
Yeah, I mean, the Devarim Asher b'Yovel Noeg b'Rosh Hashana, the shofar b'neim. Therefore, all the things which are done on Yovel are also done on Rosh Hashana, and the shofar is well with them, meaning in both of them. The shofar is both of them.
So I've got a little bit lost with this mention of Yovel. I mean, we're talking about Rosh Hashanah, we're talking about the shofar, and we're talking about doing tshuva and connecting to Hashem. But what do I care about Yovel?
Yovel is the key over here, because when you look at the command in the Torah never commands us to blow shofar on Rosh Hashanah. There's no command on Rosh Hashanah directly to blow shofar. We only know that you blow shofar on Rosh Hashanah because there's a command to blow shofar on Yovel.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Right, so the you should know the Karaites do not blow shofar on Rosh Hashanah.
Ah,
Yeah, they don't have Torah Shabbat Peh. They don't have the Gemara. They don't learn the Gemara. So they don't have the limud, the teaching through the oral Torah that the shofar has to be blown on Rosh Hashanah. So they simply don't blow the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. Yeah. Okay. Look, we'll be discussing more about these things as tomorrow and next week, Mez Hashem.
Bye.
So
Thank
hopefully
you.
we can get.
Okay.
Yeah. very
thank you,
good.
Rabbi.
Okay. Thank
Shkoyach,
you, Lou. Thank you, Roy.
good reading.
Nice
Here,
to see you.
thank you.